but I always like bring up, like, what is the scariest climb you've ever done, or the
Oh,
scariest urban exploring adventure you've been on?
uh,
And this might have changed since like the
this
last time I asked it too. So,
this might have changed. Um, Maybe the pyramids, the Great Pyramid of Giza, because the thing about it was that that night in particular, like when we first entered the country, there was like a group of police officers that like surrounded me. They were like demanding shit from me. I was like, no, I don't have to give you X, Y, or Z documents. Like, I don't have to open up my suitcases and let you take things out. Like, it was crazy, you know? So then the thing was like, when we did the pyramids, we had hit out a tomb for like, we went on a tourist attraction into the site, and then the site closes at 4 in the afternoon. So we got off from like being tourists at 3, and then we went and we ventured into the desert away from like this throng that was on the roads, and we just dropped into a tomb and we slept there for like 5 hours. We slept there from like 3 to 8, and then we woke up at 8, and uh we like peeked our heads out, and then it was the last prayer of the day going on, and I was like, we should go now. And my traveling partner was like, no. He was more shook by Egypt than I was, like, and he is like, he, he is like the most fearless explorer I've ever met. Like, he has done some of the craziest things. He has done, a lot of like metro work in Russia and Soviet Union and stuff, like a high stakes country where if
mhm.
you get caught, like, you could disappear. So, but he was on edge about it, and there was guards at all 4 corners of the pyramids, and they'd walk down the roads, and they're armed, and if you're on the pyramids, they're allowed to shoot you, like, or you could, you know, or if you get caught, it's 6 months to 3 years in prison, like, and he had a graffiti writer friend there who just got caught on some metro tracks, like not painting or anything, and like went to prison for 9 months, and it like broke him mentally. So, like, the stakes were high,
Hmm.
and it didn't used to be a criminal offense to trespass there, like prior to 2019, I think, but they've now since changed the law. So, but the biggest issue was not the guards, although like the thought of like obviously the biggest issue was like we don't want to be caught, right, or seen or whatever. But it was the wild dogs that lived around the pyramids that like could smell any foreigner like miles away. So as soon as we get out of the tomb to try to edge up towards the road, they would bark and bark and bark and run from the other side of the pyramids around to the base there and just bark at us and come into the desert and bark at us. And so then we're like, okay, they're gonna give us away. So we tried 5 times, like, to get up to the road. And then on the last time, this dog just stayed for 30 minutes, just like 15 yards away, just barking, barking, barking. Well, as soon as he left, the dog, I was like, fuck it. We either go now or
Miss it.
we miss it. We sleep overnight here and we climb out when the tourists come in the morning and we just go to fuck home, you know? And we just said fuck it and like sprinted all the way across the road. Like, we looked left, right, didn't see a guard on the road. We saw them like in like corners at their booths, and we just fucking sprinted across the road to the base of the pyramid and started climbing. By the time we had touched the first brick of the pyramid, it was a pretty heavy sprint to get there. So it was like 40, 50 yards, and in the desert and sand and with backpacks, and like by the time we had touched the first brick, the dogs had already started running around the pyramid, and the bricks are like as high as this table, maybe even higher.
That's what I was gonna ask. So I've never seen them in person, but like,
Yes.
I've watched a lot of Ancient Aliens and other stuff, and I know that they are abnormally big. So I'm
Yeah,
imagining
yeah.
like you have to climb, you have to pull yourself up each
Yes.
time. It's like I went to the next layer, pull myself up,
Mm-hmm.
go to the next layer, pull myself
And
up.
the pyramid is deceivingly tall.
Yeah.
If we did it nonstop, it probably would have took 30 minutes, but we had to stop because they started searching through the desert with flashlights, and we didn't know if it was for us or whatnot. And we had to lay down on this brick, and like, we had moved from the center of the pyramids where the blocks were bigger to the corner, And we also moved to the corner so that we could pivot out of sight.
You could get to the other face.
Yes.
It's a square pyramid. So if
you're
looking here, you're like, all right.
Yeah. We
you're playing a video game.
Yes. It literally was like that. It was like playing hide and seek with guards.
Playing fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Yes. And by the time we were halfway up, like the dogs left us alone. They were out there in the desert. In fact, I could look out and see one sitting on a rock. You know, it looked like one of those old ass pictures of Egypt with like a little dog on a rock. It was literally that. It's postcard material. And then we just made our way up to the top. And at the top, it's so spacious, no one can see you. You could be up there just chilling, even in the daytime, probably.
How big is the top, like the base of it?
Shit, man. Maybe like as far across as this apartment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They have a party up there.
Yeah, you could legit just chill up there and no one would see you. As long as you don't move to the edge, if you stayed in the center, you're good.